oral presentation is for the LALC722 Theories and Methods in Modern Languages 2 module. This oral presentation aims to discuss the relationship between the attention economy and the arts sector. To attain a holistic comprehension, supplementary academic resources and images will be employed throughout. In particular, Catherine N. Hales' academic article, Hyper and Deep Attention, The Generational Divide in Cognitive Modes, and further reading from Pedro Alves de Vega, Miriam Taveras, and Heitor Alvelo's academic article, How Experience, Attention, and Ubiquity Economies Affect the Role of Digital Media Art and Artists, will be used as a foundation of knowledge to critically analyze the case studies presented throughout the presentation. In addition, lecture materials from Block 3, Attention Crisis, History, Practices, and Aesthetic, and further articles will be utilized to catalyze a comprehensive argument. The case studies employed throughout the presentation will be Picasso's Avant-Garde Art, Julian Preview's Elements of Influence 2017, Van Gogh's Immersive Experience, Yayoi Kusuma's Immersive Installation, Marina Abramovic's The Artist is Present 2010. What are the key concepts? The attention economy. It is an information-rich world. The wealth of information means a dearth of something else, a scarcity of whatever it is that information consumes. What information consumes is rather obvious. It consumes the attention of its recipients. Hence, a wealth of information creates a poverty of attention and need to allocate that attention efficiently among the overabundance of information sources that might consume it. Deep attention. It is the cognitive style traditionally associated with humanities. It is characterized by concentrating on a single object for long periods, ignoring outside stimuli while also so engaged, preferring a single information stream and having a high tolerance for long focus times. Hyperattention. It is categorized by switching focus rapidly among different tasks, preferring multiple information streams, seeking a high level of stimulation, and having a low tolerance for boredom. Therefore, these concepts highlight the underlying debate encapsulating the art sector, particularly the increase in digital media, which has catalyzed the change in the arts ecosystem by altering the relationships between artist, audience, curating, and public spaces. Picasso's Avant-Garde Art and Julian Preview's Elements of Influence 2017 will be analyzed to contextualize the conventional ways that artists use to attract and focalize attention. For the purpose of this presentation, conventional will refer to traditional art forms, which include drawing, painting, sculpture, architecture, cinema, music, and theatre. The painting highlighted on this slide is the 1937 Weeping Woman by Picasso and is an example of a conventional art form. The Weeping Woman is an example of the artist's avant-garde art that explores cubism and surrealism art techniques to acquire the spectator's attention. In addition to the painting aesthetic appeal, Picasso aims to evoke emotional appeal by insisting that the spectators imagine ourselves into the exaggerated face of this woman, into her dark eyes, as a response to the Spanish Civil War in 1937. However, due to the growing prominence of technology within the art sector, adaptation is a necessity. Julian Preview's The Elements of Influence 2017 materializes the relationship that artists such as Picasso manifests in The Weeping Woman between the artwork and the viewer. Preview's modulation from the collective result of monitoring the gaze of Blackwood Gallery's local community, the artist was able to produce diagrams that visualize the eye movements across the exhibition, with the final sketches reproduced in wool on the walls of the gallery. The unconventional art piece illustrates an individual's inconsistency with focusing on art and therefore shift towards hyperattention. To conclude, spectators previously focused on the aesthetic and emotional appeal of art pieces to distribute their attention. However, evident in Julian Preview's The Elements of Influence 2017 art piece, there is a prerequisite for art institutions to acknowledge the shift from deep to hyperattention as well as the relevance of technology. Similarly, Van Gogh's immersive experience and Yayoi Kusuma's immersive installation will be analyzed to determine the methods that artists, curators, and art institutions have utilized to adapt with the increase in technology and shift towards hyperattention. The Van Gogh immersive experience, which first started in 2017 and features 360-degree projections, video-mapped artworks, and virtual reality, is an example of conventional art that has been transformed to display art in new ways, often digitally. Referring to Kate Mondeloc's academic article, The Influences, Van Gogh's immersive experience and the attention economy, the scholar explores the relationship between immersive art exhibitions and the broader framework of the contemporary attention and experience economies, and with an eye towards the crucial role of social media. The popularity of Van Gogh's immersive exhibition is the creator's ability to acknowledge how to acquire and maintain the attention of their spectators through intangibles, such as accessibility and patronage, as explored by John Speed's article on the art in the age of the attention economy. Via patronage of the pricey timed entry tickets, visitors have access to 1 hour or so of agreeable Van Gogh themed multisensory experience that is deliberately designed to promote social media sharing, thus prompting the manipulation of the spectator's attention through monetary gains. In conclusion, the success of immersive art experience such as Van Gogh's is an illustration of the attention experience economy partnership that capitalizes from setting experience to capture attention within each exhibition, from selfie posts, grand-scale visual and auditory effects, and the development of a story that leads to a climax. Capitalizing from each aspect, as stated above, facilitates acquisition of the attention from art institutions. Statistically, this is evident in the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam, which features the artist's famous works, which had 366,359 visitors in 2021, according to the museum's website. Comparatively, the Van Gogh Immersive Experience, which has been touring since 2017, has had more than 5 million visitors. Similarly, Yai Kusuma's immersive installations, particularly the artist's infinity mirrors rooms, are aimed to transport the individual into Kusuma's unique vision of endless reflections, and is another example of conventional art that has been transformed to display art as participatory art and therefore appeal to the use of social media. Referring to Sarah Box's article on artists for the Instagram age, the author explores the participatory art concept, particularly the Infinity Mirrored Room Love Forever 1966-94, as illustrated on the slide, which uses participatory art to encourage spectators to peer into the art piece while another voyeur can peer in at the same time. This encourages the spectator to participate as they become aware of the reflection of their own eyes across the room, and also of the eyes of whoever else is gazing into the box at the same time. Subsequently, the artist is able to attain the attention of their spectator by acknowledging intangibles such as personalization, as explored by Speed. Via personalization, artists encourage that individuals seek to establish an association with particular art as an opportunity to illustrate their persona. In conclusion, although previous artists such as Picasso were able to use aesthetic and emotional appeal to obtain attention, the shift towards hyperattention and the growing prominence of technology has caused many artists to adapt their art forms. For instance, many art institutions such as Van Gogh's immersive experience and Yai Kusuma's immersive installations have exploited the attention experience economy via selfie spots, grand-scale visual and auditory effects, and the development of a story that leads to a climax, as an opportunity to differentiate themselves and attempt to acquire the attention of their spectators. However, the implementation of these features of the attention experience economy does not always suggest success, as evident in Marina Abramovic's performance art piece, The Artist is Present 2010, which was able to obtain deep attention of spectators through intimacy rather than technology and other stimulants, as explored in the attention experience economy. However, there are some contradictions towards the need for the arts sector to adapt towards the increase in technology and the shift towards hyperattention. Marine Abramovic's The Artist is Present 2010 is an example of a performance art where she was inspired by her belief that stretching the length of a performance beyond expectations serves to alter our perception of time and foster a deep engagement in the experience through challenging the emotional, intellectual, and physical relationship between the participants and the art. Subsequently, Abramovic's art rebutes the argument that technology is a necessity to encapsulate or increase the attention of the audience. Similarly, some may suggest that immersive art experiences, such as Van Gogh's immersive experience, are only suited for those with a hyperattention cognitive style, therefore neglecting those with hyperesthesia or a deep attention cognitive style. To conclude, this presentation highlights that adaptation towards immersive experiences is a prerequisite for artists and art institutions to remain relevant in the art sector due to the prominence of technology and the subsequent shift towards a hypercognitive attention style. This is explored through various case studies from Van Gogh's immersive experience to Yai Kusuma's immersive installations, where creators have explored the benefits of technology and other sensory stimulants to attract the attention of spectators aesthetically and emotionally. The following slide is the reference slide. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed.